Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Mark Techmeyer. I'm Director of Public Affairs for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Last night at about 9 o'clock, we had a deputy doing patrol in the open space in unincorporated Jefferson County. He came across a little spot fire that was only about 10 by 10. He called it in, and within about 2.5 to 3 hours, it had grown to 100 acres in a very populated area that is mountainous and steep, and it's full of scrub brush, and it's really hard to navigate on foot. The fire burned throughout the night, and this morning we've got a helicopter coming out to do air reconnaissance for us to size up the fire. What we believe we're at right now is about 130 acres. We've lost no property, and there's been no injuries. We've evacuated 5 subdivisions for the equivalent of about 575 homes. We have an evacuation center at a local high school, Dakota Ridge High School, where last night only about 15 people came and brought 4 of their dogs. We also are evacuating large animals to the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. What's the plan today? We have over a dozen fire agencies here. And that sounds like a lot, and that sounds great for a 130-acre fire, but we all know that we have 2 other major fires going on in our state. So resources are thin. With over a dozen agencies, we still only have estimated about 70 to 80 boots on the ground to fight this fire today. We've requested numerous types of aircraft for air support, and we won't know if we're going to get any air support today or not for some time. We're hoping by mid-morning to have an update on that. I want to talk about some road closures. South Valley Road, south of King Carroll Ranch, is closed. Deer Creek Canyon, east of Deer Creek Mesa Subdivision, is closed. Deer Creek at West Ranch Trail and the High Grade Road at Arnett Ranch Road are currently closed. I talked about the 5 subdivisions that we closed, or evacuated, excuse me. We have 2 that are in pre-evac this morning, Silver Ranch and Silver Ranch South. I don't have the number of homes in those areas, but they are in pre-evac. As I told you, very limited resources. Safety is our #1 priority. This is really hard territory for our firefighters. It's very steep. It's a lot of timber, a lot of scrub oak. We had scrub oak flaming up last night 30 to 50 feet at night, which says a lot. You don't normally see that in a fire like this. And also, we have a rattlesnake problem to deal with. There's even an area in there called Rattlesnake Gulch. They're so prevalent in the area. So we have a lot of things to be concerned about for our firefighters today. Our #1 priority is to keep them safe. Like I say, 130 acres. As of 2 o'clock this morning, we'll know more on size after the helicopter does its fly up. Ready for questions.
Mark, did some of your deputies and firefighters actually go door to door overnight trying to get people out?
Yeah, thank you for that. The evacuation was 2-pronged. One was our deputies and firefighters literally going door to door, waking people up and telling them to get out. We also had our reverse 911 notification. We still are doing that again this morning. We know that some people refuse to leave, and that is their choice. But we are certainly encouraging people to get out.
When your firefighters saw the 10 by 10 very small fire, walk me through when that changed quickly for your firefighters, and then what they did right after.
Well, it was a deputy, not a firefighter, doing patrol, and he's doing his normal patrol in open space and sees a spot fire. We have no idea how it started at this point, and he called it in and monitored it, and it was quickly growing when he called it in. By the time fire arrived, it had grown into a couple of acres, and it took off. So we had and today having the same thing this morning. The directions of the wind is really fluctuating, which can be very difficult, and it can also cause embers from trees, because we do have torching trees, to carry across, and we can have spot fires in many different directions at one time. So it's tricky.
Any idea on what
started that 10 by 10 fire?
Not yet. We'll be investigating that and hopefully come to some closure on that.
Or do you know, are there campers up there? Do people go up and camp overnight?
No,
to your knowledge?
no, not up there. It's more residential and day hiking type area.
Now, you mentioned that there are other fires happening in the state right now. Resources are thin. At what point does that call get made on, you guys need more resources?
It's a decision that's made at the command, the incident command level, working with the other incident commanders of the other fires, and they all put their heads together and decide what's best.
And do you get a sense, forgive me for asking, but do you get a sense in the commanders here on the scene that perhaps you may be on your own on this one?
We could be with what we have today. And we were aware of that, and it was discussed with the incident commander and all the firefighters today that we may be looking at what we have, and it's just it is what it is, right? We have two big fires going on. This one is still only at 130 acres, but it's the terrain and the population is the tricky part. So I'll tell you, I've never been so proud of our firefighters that are in our community. They do amazing work and put themselves in really treacherous positions. Most of them volunteer. So if anybody's going to take care of business today, it's going to be those guys.
Talk about the different agencies and how firefighters are staying safe through these conditions that you guys are working with. It's heat and dry conditions, and you have the wind also, not the great combination.
Yeah, we've got predicted 98 degrees today. That does not help our cause. The wind is predicted to be 6 to 12 miles an hour, but it's supposed to fluctuate in the directions it's going, so that can be tricky. And you're talking about firefighters in this very steep terrain, treacherous stuff, fighting the fire, all their gear on, and it's 98 degrees. So they've got to take care of each other and themselves to make sure that they are hydrated. And again, our number one priority is to get all of them out safely today.
Do you guys plan to have another media briefing of updating us with how, if it's grown, if you guys have
Absolutely.
any containment?
Yep.
Any containment at the moment, actually?
There's zero containment right now. Absolutely going to do another, and we'll tweet out when. It will be early afternoon.
Mark, what does the fuel situation look like up there? Is there a lot of real dry fuel up there? Is it kind of rocky? What does it look like?
It's both. It's dry fuel. It's very rocky. It's the scrub oak again is very. When the scrub oak goes, it goes. And that's where you get that 30 to 50 foot flame that we saw last night in the middle of the night, which is just almost unheard of. So everything's stacked against us. We got low resources. We got treacherous terrain. We got very flammable fuel, but we've got some of the best people in the business on it. So.
Anything with the Lockheed facility up there that we need to know about?
Nothing. It's not approaching that facility at this point, so it's obviously a concern, and we're keeping an eye on that.
Do they have their own fire capabilities, fire prevention capabilities up there? Do you know anything about that?
I do not know.
Anything else that you would like to add that maybe we missed out?
I don't think so. I appreciate everyone covering this. It's an important story. We know we've got big fires going on in the state, so I appreciate everyone being here. We'll update you as we can.
Last question for you. Any other evacuations that you guys plan to do later today or no?
Possibly. We just don't know. We're looking at different neighborhoods in the map. It depends on what the wind does to us.
And that said, no word as to when people will be able to get back as of yet.
Yeah, we just don't know when we'll be able to lift those evacuations yet. Okay, thank you all.